Tuesday, September 13th. You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. We have a remarkable weather map that's developing over the next 7 days. It's forecast to develop, and we already have a remarkable weather map already as an unseasonably strong storm system pulls away from the area this afternoon, away from the Great Lakes area. This includes South Bend, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois. We're going to finally see some sunshine today. Temperatures are going to rebound into the 70s and possibly some areas pretty close to 80 degrees, especially as you go south. We also have some smoke coming in from the wildfires of the Pacific Northwest that's going to be affecting the upper plains, even the lower plains, and the upper Midwest. Temperatures are actually going to be held back by 2 or 3 degrees across Kansas, Nebraska, those locations due to the smoke, due to the clouds of smoke, which is really the haze. Nonetheless, temperatures 10 to 15 degrees above normal are expected over in that area. Here we go back into the remarkable weather pattern, and we're going to discuss this right now. It's not just the fact that we have an unseasonably strong low pressure system, something that we mentioned yesterday. We didn't mention how unusual it is, or if it is unusual to have it this time of the year, but this is something which, as we go through this fall season, we're going to see more and more of these systems develop. Lake Michigan is a magnet for low pressure systems during this time of the year. It is happening a little bit earlier, apparently, than what usually happens, or at least the system is a little bit stronger, and it's taking a while to get out of here. Following this system, however, we have the exact opposite on the way for the Midwest, for the areas. It's partially the East Coast, but we have a southeastern, we have an upper level ridge that will be developing a high pressure system in the mid or upper level in the southeast part of the United States that's going to expand west and strengthen. Indiana will certainly be within its path for the beginning part of next week, possibly even into the mid parts of next week, says the European computer model. The Midwest as well, even into the plains. In fact, temperatures, according to the GFS model, are forecast to approach 105 degrees on Sunday. Unbelievable. 105 degrees for portions of the plains on Sunday. That the European computer model. The European computer model shows temperatures about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than this. We'll say about 10 degrees cooler, with high temperatures in the low to mid 90s for a large portion of at least the southern half of the Midwest. The areas which are not being affected by a possible precipitation maker in the upper Midwest. The upper Midwest, the high temperatures over the weekend are really that's the wild card up there because of the precipitation. Will highs remain only in the 70s, or will highs make it into the 80s? That all depends on the timing of this next system, which actually consists of moisture from the remnants of Hurricane K, which the desert Southwest is still dealing with, and the dew points are still high in Phoenix, Arizona because of it. With an hour ago, the dew point was 63 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to see those temperatures in the desert Southwest hit 100 degrees as we go through the week. The St. Louis area could expect a long spell of warm and humid conditions with high temperatures in the low 90s for many, many days. This warming trend starts already. The warming trend starts already tomorrow. The 90-degree heat may not start until a couple days later. Those temperatures, again, low 90s. We have a strong cold front, which is forecasted to move through the area or to approach the St. Louis area on Thursday, but that's 10 days away, and there really is no model that's accurate 10 days from now. What we could say is that the heat will continue at least through Tuesday. This includes the Chicago area, especially South Bend, Indiana, which is not going to have to deal with any backdoor cold fronts from Lake Michigan at all. The moment the South Bend, Indiana ends up on the back side of this high pressure system that's moving through right now into tomorrow, right when it ends up on the backside, probably Thursday, certainly Friday, they're going to see warm temperatures in the mid 80s. By Shabbos, Saturday, temperatures might even be 90 degrees already. And that's even before this high pressure ridge goes through major amplification. That's going to be happening next week. High temperatures are forecasted to be 90 degrees each and every day in South Bend, Indiana for the first several days of next week. And to really figure out when that 90-degree heat is going to end is not so simple, because it's not within the next 7-day forecast cycle. It's reasonable to assume that the heat will likely continue even beyond the 7-day forecast cycle, with temperatures near 90 in South Bend. The Chicago area will have to deal with Lake Michigan at times, but water temperatures on Lake Michigan are warm. They're in the low 70s. So no cold weather is expected in the Chicago area, even if there would be a backdoor cold front. There will be one backdoor cold front coming through tomorrow, but temperatures to the south of the front will be in the 80s, to the north of the front in the 70s. The 80s make a comeback on Thursday, and we'll see temperatures very close to 90 degrees probably, especially for the first few days of next week. We should point out that there is this precipitation maker in the upper Midwest. It has enormous amounts of moisture with it, but there's very little forcing. Therefore, even in the upper Midwest, the chances for precipitation are not certain. In fact, when you go into North Platte, Nebraska, for example, there actually is a storm system which is going to be in the vicinity of that area for several days, but there's not even severe weather expected. So it's kind of unusual for that to be happening any time of the year over there. We're dealing with the plains. All these storm systems tend to produce severe weather, but this time there just isn't enough forcing for severe weather. We have in the New York area a thunderstorm complex that could develop this afternoon. There is a slight chance that could become severe. The New York area is going to be on a backflow as well of a high pressure air mass for the weekend, bringing warm and humid conditions to the East Coast for the weekend. The high pressure ridge that will be here next week is a blocking high pressure system, and that's why it's going to produce an extended spell of warm to hot weather, but a September version for many, many days. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the weather, and have a good day.